It was said the old lighthouse at the edge of the coast had long outlived its need. No ships came that way anymore. No harbors waited beyond the mist. Yet every evening, every single one, an aging keeper named Elias climbed the narrow spiral steps, carrying a small oil can and a heart full of duty. He would trim the wick, clean the glass, polish the lens, and whisper the same quiet line as the sun went down. "Let there be light." For 27 years, Elias had tended that lamp. He'd seen the sea in every color, blue as forgiveness, black as despair. He'd heard storms roar like beasts and mornings rise soft as prayer. But lately, doubt had crept in, a slow, steady fog in the mind. "What's the use?" he muttered one evening, watching gulls vanish into the distance. "No ships pass here anymore. No one even knows I'm here." The lamp flickered that night, not from the wind, but from the tremor in his heart. The village below had changed. Children grew up and left. The new harbor, built 20 miles north, had stolen all the sails. Only fishermen's lanterns dotted the horizon now, faint, trembling, human lights. And so Elias stayed, out of habit, out of promise, out of something he couldn't quite name. He remembered the day he took the oath to keep the light burning for every soul lost or seeking. At the time, it had sounded noble. Now it sounded lonely. That winter was the harshest in years. Winds clawed the shore like wild dogs. Salt froze on the railing, and the sea turned gray and merciless. The oil supply came late, delayed by ice and bureaucracy. For 3 nights, Elias rationed what little he had, watching the flame shrink smaller each dusk. He wrote in his journal, "Maybe light isn't meant to last forever. Maybe it burns only to remind us how dark things can get." And yet, he climbed the stairs again. Old knees, weak breath, a stubborn pulse. Step by step, he carried his lantern to the great lens and whispered, "Let there be light." That night, the storm came without warning. Thunder shook the coast. Waves rose like living walls. The keeper's house shuddered, glass cracked. The sea roared as if the end itself had arrived. The lamp swayed in the tower. Elias shielded it with his body. He spoke to it like an old friend. "Come now, hold steady, old one. We've seen worse, haven't we?" Rain lashed his face. Wind tore at his coat. The wick hissed, nearly drowned. And for a moment, he thought of letting it die. What was the point? No ship would see it. No one would know. He was a forgotten keeper, tending a forgotten flame. But then, through the blinding rain, a faint glimmer appeared on the horizon. 1, 2, then 3 flashes of light. A signal, distant, desperate, trembling against the storm. A ship was out there. Elias's heart leapt. His hands, shaking with cold and purpose, fed the flame with the last of the oil. The lamp flared bright, a sun in the storm. He cranked the lens, focused the beam, and for hours through the long night that light held steady. Each gust threatened it, each wave tried to drown it, but it burned on.
and somewhere beyond the fog, sailors saw it and found their course home.
When morning came, the sea lay quiet, ashamed of its rage. The wreckage of a small cargo ship washed onto the shore, broken but not lost. Every crew member survived. A note was found later in a bottle near the dock. It read, "We would have perished, if not for a faint light we saw through the storm. Whoever kept it burning, may God bless him." Elias never mentioned the note. He didn't need to. He simply smiled and wrote in his journal that night, "Sometimes the purpose is not to be seen, but to see faithfully." Years passed. When the new keeper arrived to replace him, he found the old man's room neat and still. On the table, a single lantern, its glass spotless, wick trimmed, waiting. And inside the worn leather journal, one final line. "I have kept the light, not because the world saw it, but because the world needed it." The world is full of quiet keepers like Elias, mothers who pray when no one thanks them, teachers who plant wisdom in empty classrooms, workers who show up every day, unseen, uncelebrated, unwavering. They too climb their lonely towers. They too whisper to the dark, "Let there be light." And perhaps that is what Jesus meant when he said, "You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden." Matthew 5:14. For the true measure of light is not in applause, but endurance. It shines not to be noticed, but to guide. So, if you ever feel invisible, unheard, unappreciated, remember the lantern keeper. When your purpose feels small, keep shining. When your path feels lonely, keep tending the flame. When no one sees your work, God does. Because your light, your faithfulness, your unseen goodness may be the only beams someone far away can follow home. Keep your flame alive, even when no one's watching, even when the night feels endless. The light you keep may one day save a soul you'll never meet, and in that, you will have done the holiest work of all. Let there be light.